boasting a lineup of some of the most well-known and recognizable anime characters, Dragon Ball is without a doubt one of the most successful, if not the most successful anime and manga series ever created. The show has reached an unprecedented level of fame that has transcended the medium, and even people that don't know the first thing about anime can instantly recognize Goku. The characters have evolved along with the anime itself, eventually becoming friends with even the gods. In this series, we will be discussing the story of Dragon Ball, the whole story of Dragon Ball, from the very first chapter of the manga up to the point that we are at today. Everything has a beginning. This is Dragon Balls.
Pushing off my sneakers to the ground, I do not jump, I move the earth down, bear witness to the genius of my sound, born at the bottom, but now I'm top.
This is the first of a series of videos, and every time that I do a bigger video like this one, I'll be going back and making individual videos on the characters that are introduced, the various plot points that are interesting enough to talk about on their own, or to explain or clarify some things. But the first arc of Dragon Ball is known by one of three names, depending on who you ask. Either the Emperor Pilaf Saga, the Saga of Goku, or the Search for the Dragon Ball Saga. The manga was released in 2 volumes, the first of which was The Monkey King, and the second is called Wish Upon a Dragon. We're going to be starting in The Monkey King in the very beginning. Now, the first few episodes and few chapters of Dragon Ball tell about how Goku and Bulma met. Now, this is obviously one of the most important parts of the story, the whole Dragon Ball story, but it's also one of the funniest. It almost seems like the point of these episodes or these chapters are just to make sure that we're aware of the fact that Goku is retarded, for the lack of a better word, and also that Bulma is, how to put this, Bulma would do anything to get a Dragon Ball, anything, but that kind of blows up in her face when she tries to get Goku to give her his rejection's priceless. It's probably one of the best lines in all of Dragon Ball. But let's go on ahead and jump right into it. Let's talk about how Goku and Bulma met. Alright, so they took no time showing us just how powerful Goku is in the beginning. They've got him grabbing this massive log and throwing it into the air, and when he jumps up and chops it once, all the wood chops up perfectly evenly and lands in a nice even pile of firewood. After he does that, we see him go inside, and we see the Dragon Ball that he's got, the 4-star Dragon Ball laying there, and he starts to talk to it, calling it Grandpa, which is weird at this point in the story, but we do understand why he's doing that later on. But just at this point, it's awkward. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But after talking to his grandpa, or the Dragon Ball, he decides that he's hungry, so he goes fishing. And he catches this massive fish. And as he's dragging it home, Bulma shows up out of nowhere and hits him with her car. Now, you've got to remember at this point that adult Goku is retarded, so kid Goku is even more retarded. So when she hits him, he thinks the car is a monster that's trying to steal the fish that he had caught. So naturally, to protect himself and to protect the fish he just caught, he attacks it. He attacks the car thinking it's a monster, and then just tries to fight it. And then this is where we get to meet Bulma for the first time. Bulma hangs out the window, pulls out a gun, and shoots Goku. It's a hell of an entrance, right? Hit him with the car, and then shoot him. It's a great way to start things off. Now, it takes a little while, but eventually Goku comes to the realization that Bulma is a human being like he is. Although, throughout his entire life, the only human that he had ever seen was his Grandpa Gohan. So he doesn't know a whole lot about humans. He knows nothing at all about girls. So once he figures out that, she's a girl, he starts checking her out, looking around. He's looking for her tail. He's surprised to see that she doesn't have one. He just makes the assumption that girls just don't have tails. But eventually they end up going back to Goku's house. And then, once they get there, Bulma sees the Dragon Ball laying on the dresser and freaks out. Because, come to find out, Bulma was actually in that area because she had seen Goku's 4-star ball on her radar. So she was looking for that. So she's super stoked when she sees it. And she goes to grab it, and Goku gets kind of angry about it. So she's like, let me show you my secret, and she pulls out 2 other Dragon Balls. And this just confuses the shit out of Goku. He thinks it's 2 more Grandpas, because, like I've said several times, he's retarded. But this is where we, as readers, first find out what the Dragon Balls actually do. Bulma explains to Goku that, if you gather all 7 of them together, you can summon the Eternal Dragon, and he will grant you a wish. And Goku thinks that's awesome. But Bulma wants the Dragon Ball. And like I said earlier, it's painfully obvious that Bulma is willing to do anything to get the Dragon Ball. So when she's trying to get Goku to give her his, she offers him a little peek up her skirt. And the way Goku responds is probably the best line in Dragon Ball. One of the funniest things ever. She's like, but just one quick little peek. He's like, why would I want to see your dirty butt? And then Bulma flips, because she's mad, because my butt's not dirty. But then, like I said, she recognizes Goku's strength and realizes that he would be a good bodyguard while she's on this mission to get the rest of the Dragon Balls. So she asks him to come along. So she pulls out her little dragon radar, and they check and see where the closest Dragon Balls are. And they realize, they're pretty far away. So she pulls out a capsule and throws it, and it explodes, turns into a bike, and Goku shits his pants, doesn't know what's going on. And then he, of course, being Goku, pulls out his power pole and starts poking it, trying to figure out if it's going to attack him or if it's alive or whatever he's doing. But they get on the road, they're going, they end up pulling over. Bulma's got to pee. Goku's confused about why she's not just peeing in front of him. He thinks it's stupid that she has to go off into the bushes, and then a couple of seconds later we hear her start screaming for help. So Goku runs out there, and then Bulma's dumbass then got captured by a giant pterodactyl. So Goku's got to try to rescue her. He ends up getting on the bike, jumping into the air, and knocking the pterodactyl out, and saving Bulma. Surprise, surprise. Now, at the end of their first day together, Bulma's like, I'm tired, let's go to sleep. And they get off the bike, and she pulls out a capsule, and Goku says, no way, you're not gonna pop a house out of one of those whatchamacallits. And then she throws it and it explodes, and there's a house. And he actually runs from it before she throws it. And now you remember that Goku's never really seen technology, so this is all new to him. So once he goes inside, he's looking around amazed by everything. This is all new to him. And then she turns on the lights, and she turns on the lights inside, and Goku starts calling her a witch, because it's magic. And then there's another part right after that when she turns the TV on and Goku sees it, and he starts poking the TV with the power pole, saying, hey, get out of that box, you midget. And then that's when Bulma realizes that Goku smells terrible. It says, hey, little dude, you need to go get a bath. And Goku replies, a what? A bath? What's a bath? Because he's 14 years old and he had never taken a bath in his entire life. But since he doesn't know what one is, unfortunately for Bulma, she's got to give him one. So she shows him how to wash and all that. And this is the part where she discovers that Goku actually has a real tail. She didn't think it was real at first. And then she just flipped out when she figured out that it was. A little while later, after Goku gets out of the bath, he's got dressed, Bulma decides that she wants to take a bubble bath. So she fills up the water, gets into it, and lays down. And a couple of minutes later, Goku comes walking in and sees Bulma in the bathtub and sees her boobs and says, "So instead of a tail, you've got an extra butt." So he thinks that the cleavage, her boobs, are a butt on her chest, which is which is retarded. And this is the part where we find out that Goku's 14. So Bulma freaks out about that as well, saying, "You're only 2 years younger than I am." And then they end up getting hungry. Goku goes out and kills a coyote because he doesn't like Bulma's food. It gets late, they get tired, get ready to go to bed. Goku lies down, and then he wakes up. Can't stay asleep. Decides that he wants to go crawl in bed with Bulma. And then she's got her blankets pulled over, so she's just laying in her panties, and Goku sees her crotch area and is like, "Well, her pillow's not as big as Grandpa, but I can sure give it a try." See, Goku doesn't understand the difference in the sexes. He doesn't understand that there's two different parts. Guys and girls have their own parts. He doesn't know that because he's never experienced a girl before. So when he lays his head down, he notices something's missing. He notices that something's gone. Something doesn't feel right. So he turns around to investigate and starts patting her crotch. He ends up pulling her panties off, and he freaks out and wakes up Bulma, and he starts stuttering. He starts saying, "Lost your ball, lost your blah." And Bulma thinks that he's trying to say that she lost the Dragon Balls, but what he's really saying is that her balls are gone, like her boy balls, they're gone, and he doesn't understand why, and it freaks him out. And they finally lay back down and go to sleep. In the very last panel of the second chapter, we see the outline of a turtle kind of slowly moving towards the house that they did. So obviously that's going to be Master Roshi's turtle. So that's where we're going to go in the next video. We're going to go over how Goku meets Master Roshi and that whole part of the story. And then after we do that, we should be done with the first volume of the manga. Hopefully at that point, unless I find more to talk about. But anyways, go ahead, leave some comments, like, share, subscribe, like, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.